believe it's here. The final episode of the 2018 season. Don't worry, we've got off-season stuff coming for you, but we are cover 4. End of our 3rd season, guys.
Crazy to think.
We've made huge strides.
We're rookie contract.
Nearing the end of it.
Almost time to talk payday.
Okay, well, I heard that Dave saved his best kickoff for the last episode of the year, Dave.
That could not be less true, Lindsay. But it's fitting. It's really fitting because it's just like the Cowboys. You're going a million miles an hour. You're prepping every week. And then all of a sudden, it's just over. And you take some time, you gather your thoughts, and you get ready for the next year. So that's what we're going to do. And that's pretty much all I got.
Wow.
Wow. Well, we do know one thing. The 2019 schedule will be lit at AT&T Stadium. You are going to see the Rams again. You're going to see the Packers. You're also going to see the Eagles, of course. But on the road, you're going to go to the Saints. You're going to go to the Patriots. And, guys, you got to go face the Redskins with a healthy Alex Smith. So it's going to be crazy. Get ready for it.
$1 billion stadium, $1 billion practice facility, $250 million yacht, and yet still this time of the year, when players are leaving after their exit interviews, how they clean their lockers out? With gray plastic bags. We got to do better.
You want like a gold-plated?
I want a travel bag or something.
I'm processing
nice
Taylor.
bag.
I'm processing Taylor saving Alex Smith as like the coup de grace.
The GOAT.
You know, like.
Well,
not the Rams, not
if
the Saints,
you
not
did
Tom
a
Brady.
flashback on our show, we all said the Redskins would be winning the NFC East, and it all ended for them when Alex Smith went down.
She's just getting you guys ready with a little early moldy.
LP is going to go into that game with full revenge mode.
Damn.
He's like, I am the oldest player on this team.
He's not even under contract right now.
Boldy LP goes after Alex Smith's throat.
Save us.
All right, top 5 storylines going into the offseason. The first one, guys, Jason Garrett said it in his ending press conference. Travis Frederick not only expected to play this year, but expected to be a go at the start of off-season programs. Twitter was a storm with excitement.
We talked about this yesterday, and for good reason. I mean, you're looking for something to feel positive about. That's the best news that came out of anything that's happened since the Rams game, is you're talking about bringing back one of the best players on your team, an all-pro center. Adding him into the lineup could be absolutely huge. The fact that they think he's ready to go right away, can't understate how big that is.
All right, number 4 on the list. Sean Lee is apparently mulling over retirement options. Heard he's going to take a month or so to get away from football, travel a little bit, and decide what he wants to do. What do you guys think?
This one is it's touchy and it's interesting because Sean Lee is, I would say, a fan favorite, a crowd favorite, a locker room favorite. I got a chance to play with Sean Lee, and he is everything you want in a football player, mind, body, and soul. He epitomizes first guy in, last guy to leave. The thing that's always failed him is his body. And as you get older, your body doesn't magically become better and hold up longer. So for a guy like Sean Lee, who's had a pretty good career, played 9 years in the National Football League, I think he's come to a point in his time in life where maybe retirement might be the best thing for him.
Coaching opportunities, though, with the Cowboys.
I was going to say, I think that we're going to see something similar with Sean Lee, like what happened with Witten. You know, the decision was not made immediately. You waited all the way until May to know what was going to happen with Jason Witten. Of course, no one knew the TV opportunities, but Lindsay just alluded to it. He could be getting some coaching opportunities, specifically here. Maybe see how that goes into the offseason, if he enjoys that. I think they respect him enough to give him that opportunity to test it out.
You got to be touchy with how you say this. All due respect in the world to Sean Lee, but it's different from Jason Witten in one important sense, is that they have found their linebackers of the future. That's why we're having this conversation in the first place. Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith set up to be here for a long time. Jason Witten put this team in a bind when he decided to retire. At the very least, if that's what Sean Lee decides, and we don't know that, but if that's what he decides, you at least feel good about the linebacker spot.
Great point. Great point. Number 3, it's always a topic of conversation, is how are the Cowboys going to help out Dak Prescott moving forward? How are they going to add to this offense and make it even better than it was this year? How's that going to happen, guys? Maybe
I can hear what the fans are saying.
Always looking to mention Dak-friendly offenses, right, Dave?
I love it. It's my favorite term in the world, Dak-friendly.
He's being sarcastic.
Who doesn't want their offense to be friendly toward their quarterback?
So since no one will say it, I will say it.
What are you going to say, Jess?
Say it, Jess.
We need to get better on the offensive play calling situation. Offensive coordinator, we need to have a change. We need to have something that's going to be able to utilize the strengths of our quarterback, the strength is our running back and the way and the evolution of what football has become. We know Jason Garrett came out earlier this week on the radio, 105.3 The Fan, and had some things he said about coaches still being here or expecting him to be there. Jerry and Steven came behind him and said, not so fast. We're still evaluating things. But we all know that we have to get better on the offensive side of play calling.
But okay, and I'll offer you this because you're absolutely right. That's a perfectly good point. What if they don't make that change? And right now we don't know. Jerry Jones has talked about it. Stephen Jones has talked about it. Jason Garrett has talked about it. As we sit here right now, I have no idea if that's going to happen. So can they improve by not making that change?
Well, let me move to number two because a storyline of the offseason is going to be the Cowboys coaching carousel.
We will see a lot of those answers next week in Orlando because they will be coaching the Pro Bowl together. We talked about it yesterday. I think that's when you kind of get those talks with the guys, see where they're at. They're going to be talking to other coaches. They're going to be talking to other teams that have hired new head coaches. I think you'll find out a lot more in Orlando, so stay tuned to DallasCowboys.com because we've got a lot of people going there.
It is going to be a multi-week process. Actually, we're already getting out today. It sounds like Mark Colombo is going to sign or is signing a contract extension to be the offensive line coach. Moves like that make sense. I just wonder, with the Pro Bowl coming up, with the Senior Bowl coming up, you see bigger changes or philosophy changes. Maybe Jason Garrett has a heavier hand in play calling this time around. I don't know. It's definitely something that's going to play out here over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't want to see my Papa Rod retire. Don't want to see
I
it.
don't think you have to worry about
Yeah,
it.
I
don't
think
think you have to worry about it.
Number one storyline. There's only so many dollar bills to go around.
Yes.
How are you going to pay everybody?
Besides yours, Lynn, didn't you say you'd pull some out of your pocket to give to Tank?
I'll share my humongous salary that I get with Tank.
That's very thoughtful.
Hey, every little bit helps. Honestly, it all starts with DeMarcus. He's the only guy that they have to figure out right now. They have until March 5th to use the franchise tag, so it's either tag or if they can get an extension done in the next month and a half, that would be great. Not optimistic that happens. That's the big one. Then you look at Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, Amari Cooper. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. They're fortunate in the sense that they don't have to get a lot of that done right now.
They don't have to get any of it done right now.
Well,
those guys are still under contract.
But it could help their salary cap.
Did you
bring
bring
down
out-
Amari's number, you open things up to do other things. It could help them. But Tank is the only one that they got to figure out. Cole Beasley, Jeff Swaim, I know those guys are there. You can deal with all that in free agency. Tank is the guy you got to
Jesse
sort
got
out.
me a little scared in the pre-show meeting talking about sitting out players.
yeah, it's possible. I mean,
I'm not
guys
about
totally
that.
out of training camp. I mean, high-profile guys, Dak. Zeke.
This is now the first time that Dak and Zeke are even able to negotiate contracts. They aren't allowed to by NFL rules until after their third year. So it's up to them how they want to play it. If Zeke or Dak feels like they're underpaid, and guess what? They are. Who knows? Who knows how they decide to handle that?
I'm not
More
even going
endorsement.
down that trail, but
We've got a long
trail
way
we
to go.
are
Long
going
way to
down
go.
is what is the missing piece for this team to take it even farther in the postseason? There it was, the last time on the field for this year. We'll talk about that next.
Zeke's still better.
Hey Dallas Cowboys fans, I'm Jamie Surek at the AT&T Media Center. Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott and running back Ezekiel Elliott both finished in the top 10 of jerseys sold this season. Elliott finished with the 4th most jerseys sold in the NFL, and Prescott finished with the 9th most jerseys sold. Both players have finished in the top 10 all 3 years they've played in the NFL. Coming up, the Cover 4 crew will give their bold predictions on what's going to go down for the Cowboys this offseason.
How will history define us?
The perfect size?
Perfect hair? Every box checked?
No, we set the tone.
We are works of art.
Who we are is not defined by what they say, but by what we create.
The legacy we build.
Fire in our souls.
We are strong.
We are unstoppable.
We
We are Cowboys fans.
One final boldie for the offseason. What do we think is going to happen, even long term? Taylor, you are up first.
First, I'm going to go with an obvious one to me, maybe not to these guys. Zeke Elliott, he gets a fresh cut in the offseason. Yes, the hair is gone, a little unruly. They are a little superstitious. He didn't get the dub this year in the playoffs like they wanted. Cut the hair, man. You know, he's talked about the gray hairs he has. He's going to cut it in the offseason.
Did Mom pay you to say this, or how does that work?
Yes, this is sponsored by Miss D. Elliott.
I like it.
Second one, bolster up those tight ends, and you can do it. You don't have to go get a free agent star. There are a lot of guys you can get for a bargain. I know people might get scared when I bring up Tyler Eifert, but he is a bargain guy you can get in the offseason. And yes, you're so happy about Blake Jarwin. We talked about it yesterday. Jeff Swim, you don't know the future with him. Bolster up those tight ends. Have two solid monsters.
All right,
Also, in
Jay.
the draft, this is a heavy tight end draft as
Herb
well.
Smith Jr. is who I got my eye on.
Alabama.
All right, my boldie is not really for this offseason, but more long term. I think Amari Cooper ends up being a Cowboy for life, and in a way, because his career was resurrected when he came here, in a way I don't even think he expected. I hear from people in the locker room and media saying he's actually looking like he's enjoying himself. He's talking, he's having fun. I just think this was a match made in heaven, and that he will be here for years to come.
He got out of the black.
This offseason. True? Contract right now?
I don't think there's room.
Okay.
Right? Like, there's way too many. Tank's gonna take it all.
You got a lot of
He's gonna go like this.
You're going to have to take Amari out to dinners. We're going to have to just, take him on shopping trips.
I can handle it. My paycheck can handle it.
Well, for me and my boldie, it's one that we all talked about all season long, and we didn't know if it was going to happen. We weren't willing to give anything up, but it's the offseason. And he's a free agent
We're
now.
back to it.
We're back to this.
Okay.
Now, some can say, that the Cowboys season ended because a safety didn't go out and tackle the quarterback when he was supposed to.
Yeah? Okay.
I think if you put this safety in that place, he is aware of where the quarterback is at and where the ball is at, and he makes your secondary a playmaking secondary. That's a key thing for this Cowboys defense. Not just having a good defense, but having a ball-hawking, playmaking defense, and going to sign Earl Thomas this offseason. I know he's be 30 years old, but you get him for the cheap, you get him for the low. He already wants to be here. Earl Thomas, a Cowboy this offseason.
We usually call Lindsay the pot stirrer, but you got the spoons out over here.
I am.
today.
You have
Okay.
completely taken my title
That's
today. It's people sitting out, signing Earl Thomas. He's
Come
going
on, I'm
crazy.
thinking this thing rolling for
The
the
reason why I asked you about Amari is because I'm in the same boat as you. I think the first thing the Cowboys have to do is take care of some financial business. It could be Amari. I'm going with Tank, first of all. The first order of business, and I think it gets done. Hopefully it gets done faster than July, but I think DeMarcus Lawrence gets his deal. And I think maybe if he's willing to play ball, I think maybe you try to sign Dak Prescott to a deal this offseason too. It makes sense, like I said, especially if he's willing to play ball with you to get that security ahead of time. I don't know if Dak wants to go into next year having to play for a contract. So maybe you get both sides in the same room and kind of agree on a price. I wouldn't be surprised if both of those guys get locked down before they play another game.
Dak over under $80 million.
Ooh, $80
gosh.
million.
Probably over.
Yeah, probably over.
I know.
The market is crazy.
There's ways you can make it work, though. There are ways you can make it work without completely.
It's the same salary we get, guys. We keep
Obviously.
talking about it today. It's right around my ballpark.
I got my Bentley truck right outside. I'm getting in it as soon as.
I'm sorry, I need to gather myself for sound off really quick. Let's talk about it, guys. What is the missing piece for this team? There could be a million directions you could go, but for them to get past this divisional round, what is this missing piece?
Mine is a full offseason with these rookies. Give these guys a full offseason.
So next year, you're good?
Next year, I'm good. I mean, I feel comfortable where we're at now. I feel like they will make the changes with the offensive play calling. I feel like that's been pretty obvious. Get a full season for Michael Gallup. Get a full offseason for Connor Williams. A full offseason for Amari Cooper gelling with this offense. I think you will see wonders. Leighton Vander Esch, get up in that weight room. Get even bigger, buddy.
I kind of hate this question, to be honest with you, because I don't believe in the concept of a missing piece. People love to talk about.
Amari Cooper wasn't that?
Did they win the Super Bowl?
But he was a missing piece to get them to there.
Their team much
don't
better.
do
That's
that,
the question.
David.
That's the question that we're asking, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is the missing piece to winning a Super Bowl? Amari Cooper changed this team for the better.
He was only here half a season. I think we got to wait on that piece and let it play out.
I think the world of Amari Cooper.
Lens,
That's not the point that I'm trying to make. The point is there's 90 million things that effective football team. I think, people love to bring up Charles Haley and how he was the missing piece. That was the era before the salary cap, first of all. It was just so far ago that it doesn't even matter. You look at this team needs tight end help. This
You
team
gonna tell
could
Charles
probably
Haley that?
Please, God, no. Please, Charles. I'm sorry. This team could use wide receiver help. Yeah, thank you, Jesse. This team could use wide receiver help. This team could use some depth along the defensive line. This team's got to sort out some contracts. It all ties in together. They need more consistent performance from their offense. That is really what I think they need more than anything else. Whether that means more talent, better play calling, probably all of the above. That's what they need.
I'll retweet that.
Hey guys, look, there's a sword. Don't worry about it. I'll jump on it.
Oh boy.
What's the missing piece for this team? It's the offensive staff, the play calling staff. When you're talking about what the Dallas Cowboys are, they have a really good quarterback. You have one of the best running backs in the league. You have an all-star receiver. And you just can't keep adding piece after piece. You want an all-star team. If you're asking for an all-star team, that's impossible.
I got a question. Is it a few plays a game? Or is it the entire game? Is it the entire?
This team is only averaging 20 points a game offensively.
So is it a few
You're not going to win in this league averaging 20 points a game in this league. You have to find someone or something.
It's actually 22, sir.
Excuse me, I apologize.
Sir.
Let me not get that thing wrong. 22 points a game. If you're going to compete in this league and win football games and win championships, you need to be better. You need to be more explosive. You need to put at least 25 to 27 to 29 points on the board week in and week out.
I pretty much agree with him.
I'll let you just keep rolling into OT. Just keep going on that train you were going on.
Woo.
Keep it going.
Listen, guys, I was the rookie of the backyard, and Lindsay, Dave, and Taylor, they made my experience wonderful. If you ever get a chance to be around any one of those guys or gals for just 30 seconds, you see just how talented, how wonderful, how brilliant they all are. And so I am blessed and I am thankful that I got a chance again in my life to work with another team with the star on our helmets.
Oh,
thank you all.
Dust off your shoulders, everybody.
I'm drying out my eyes is what I'm doing.
All right, well, in the words of Jerry Jones, I don't have time for a bad time. This has been a great time again, season 3. Yes, so grateful for you, Jess, but grateful for all of these guys. Just season 3, keep it rolling.
Cover 4 is over. I'm so sorry, but guess what? None of us stopped working just because of that. We're all going to still be doing stuff. Cover 4 will be back in some capacity before the season starts. I am positive of that. We're all on Twitter way too much, at Mr. Fourth and Long,
yes,
Tay Stern, Lindsay Cash Draper, Hellman DC. Well, you know where to find us. We'll be creating content this whole time, so I'm not even sad. We'll be right here.
We'll be gonna be
right here
at the Halal Guys.
I will be at Halal Guys.
Dave loves Halal Guys.
I do.
Find him there in
And
Frisco.
if you've got a problem with that, I don't want to be your friend. Halal Guys is amazing.
We will see you guys. We don't know
Why are we talking about Halal
but
Guys?
we will see you guys
Cover 4.
soon. Enjoy this awesome present as we leave.
Everyone. Oh, you got a dress on.
Yeah, she does have a dress.